All right, it is now official. Republican Bobby Jindal is in, and while the media is practically coronating with Hillary Clinton, I want you to take a look at how the media is treating him. So you got Politico using an old quote of his to label him as the stupid party's candidate. That's very refreshing. The Washington Post quoting a professor saying, "There's not much Indian left in him." And don't even get me started on Donald Trump. What does Donald Trump get for scoring the #2 spot in a Suffolk poll? A headline about his hair. Charlie Kirk says this is all hair-raising to him. Charlie's a young guy, but I think, Charlie, what you're saying is no wonder why young people who take this stuff in have such a cynical view of Republicans, right? Because it doesn't work the other way around.
You're exactly right. And if it really was all about the hair, Rand Paul would be first in New Hampshire. But I digress on that. In reality, though,
well,
the media has this.
But I digress on that. But go ahead.
It's a big field with lots of different hairstyles. We have to remember that. But back to what the media's been treatment of the Republican field versus that of the lack of treatment towards the Democrats. Whenever the media ever has anyone come on the airwaves and attack a Republican, it almost gets qualified as commentary or opinion. But if anyone ever goes out, when they attack a Democrat, whenever it attacks a Republican, it gets reported as news. It's completely different. So if anyone ever goes after a Democrat, it goes after opinion or commentary, like Peter Schweitzer's recent book. They say, oh, that's just an opinion book. But if anyone goes after a Republican, it's the exact opposite. It's this unbelievable double standard.
I think you're right on that. And if you want to go the hair route or the cosmetic route or start talking about silly, stupid issues like that, believe me, have at it, but have at it with everybody. And I just find it a little odd. And I also find it a little odd, despite what you might think of the messenger in Donald Trump, that message and the frustration with trade deals where he thinks that we're being taken advantage of, frustrations on the part of a lot of Americans, something is propelling him in those polls, and it's not his hair. It just might be a lot of those views that resonate with folks who are not exactly billionaires themselves.
Right, and I think he's able to give permission to the other candidates in the 2016 field to talk about these less conventional issues. He obviously says it with incredible passion and sometimes in unconventional ways. But if you look at the two candidates that have really seen a recent surge, Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders, what do they really have in common? They have this really grassroots populist appeal, talking about trade deals, talking about how our government is serving an elite few.
Bernie Sanders is a rock star, and Donald Trump should be under rocks. That's the difference. That's the way the media looks at it.
Right, and you're exactly right. And the media treats Bernie Sanders as this rocket, to the top, and as Donald Trump as someone who they completely disqualify. But if what they're both talking about is how Washington, D.C. has become completely disconnected from the American people. And what I think Donald Trump is able to do for the Republican Party is he's able to bring up these issues that these other candidates would not be talking about. And quite honestly, Donald Trump, he's able to say it in an entertaining, pretty direct way where other candidates can now say, yeah, I agree with that. And he's going to continue to launch attacks at Hillary Clinton from now till the end of his candidacy. And I think it's overall a good idea and a good person to have on the debate stage to be able to launch those attacks. Because the media won't do it. It's good to have someone like Donald Trump do it.
If you want to be cosmetic and shallow in your coverage with one, I say be cosmetic and shallow with all, but don't pick and choose what you want to pick a fight about. I don't know. It's just obnoxious. But no wonder why young people are so cynical. And not you, Charlie.
Exactly right.
We can only hope. All right. Thank you, my friend.